All right, let's get into a story that just might make you think twice about ordering late-night pizza ever again. This is about a delivery guy named John and one single shift that went completely, terrifyingly wrong.
Now, before we really dive in, there's something you need to know. The source material says this isn't just some made-up tale. It's supposedly based on a real event that happened to this guy during his college days. And suddenly, that makes everything a whole lot scarier, doesn't it?
And that's really the question at the core of this whole thing. I mean, think about it. A job you do every single day, a path you've driven 100 times before. What happens when that routine suddenly takes a sharp turn into absolute terror?
So, our story kicks off like 1,000 other nights for a pizza delivery driver, with a simple phone call, an order that really should have been nothing out of the ordinary.
So, picture it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. John is wiped out, he's just about to punch the clock and head home. The shop is closing, the night is pretty much done. And then the phone rings.
And right away, the first red flag pops up. This isn't a normal call. The guy on the other end of the line, he sounds weird. His voice is shaky, it's trembling, like he's genuinely scared of something. John's gut feeling is to just say, no, we're closed.
So, why did he end up taking it? Well, the order was for 4 large pizzas. And for a broke college kid, 4 large pizzas means one thing, a potentially huge tip. It's that classic battle, right? Your gut is screaming no, but your empty wallet is screaming louder. So, he takes the order. So, with the pizzas boxed up, John heads out. But this delivery isn't just around the block. It's to an address he's never even heard of. And with every mile he drives, that bad feeling in his stomach just gets worse and worse. And just look at how this scene is set. It's a masterclass in building dread. First, the address is way outside the city limits. Then, the nice paved road turns into this bumpy, unpaved track. Wild trees start closing in on both sides. And then, the streetlights just stop. It's pitch black. John is completely and totally alone out here.
When he finally gets to the address, this is what's waiting for him. An old, strange-looking house. Every single light is off. There is zero sign of life. And his very first thought is that this place has to have been abandoned for years.
At this point, every instinct in John's body is screaming at him to just get out of there. He actually tries calling his manager, to explain how weird this is and just bring the food back. But of course, the call doesn't go through. Now he's in a tough spot. If he goes back without getting permission, he might lose his job. So, against all his better judgment, he figures he has to at least try to make the delivery.
And this, right here, is where the story goes from just being a little creepy to something else entirely. He gets off his bike and starts walking towards that dark front door.
Okay, so he rings the doorbell. Nothing, just silence. He rings it again, and this time, he hears footsteps inside. But still, nobody opens the door. He's had it, he's turning around to leave, and that's the moment the door just slowly creaks open, all on its own. He calls out, hello, and cautiously steps into this dimly lit, empty hallway. He calls out again, hello, pizza delivery. Still nothing. Then, out of nowhere, a black cat just darts out from under a sofa and vanishes into a dark room down the hall. And the second it does, a light and a TV flicker on inside that same room, and he can hear the faint sound of kids laughing. So now John's thinking this has to be some kind of dumb prank. He's actually more angry than he is scared at this point, and he walks into that room to give a piece of his mind to whoever is messing with him. But what he finds just stops him dead in his tracks. There are 2 little girls just sitting on a bed, totally silent. They're not laughing, they're not doing anything, they're just staring at him with this bizarre, blank look on their faces. He asks them, hey, where are your parents? I need to get paid. They just stare. He asks again, getting more and more frustrated, and that's when it happens. Their eyes turn completely, horrifyingly white, and the silence is just shattered by this awful, dangerous laughter. Then, at the exact same moment, they both slowly lift their arms and point right at the doorway he just walked through. John turns around, and a terrifying woman is standing right there, blocking his only way out. That's it. The pizzas crash to the floor, and it's just pure animal terror. He doesn't think, he just bolts. He literally shoves past that thing, sprints out of the house, and scrambles to get away. But this nightmare is a long way from being over.
He revs the engine, peeling away down that dark road, but he's not safe. Just a little ways away, the engine sputters and dies. He's got a flat tire. As he's frantically trying to call the police, he glances in his rearview mirror and his heart just stops. He sees them, the woman and the two girls, standing in the middle of the road, just slowly walking towards him. He ditches the beck, runs blindly into the woods, and hides behind a tree until he hears the most welcome sound in the entire world, police sirens. He tells the police the whole insane story, and they go back to the house to check it out. They search that place top to bottom, but they don't find a woman. They don't find any little girls. The only living thing inside is a single wild cat.
The police check the property records, and that's when the mystery gets even deeper. The house hasn't just been empty for a little while, it has been officially abandoned for 3 years.
And here it is, the final, horrifying piece of the puzzle. The reason that house has been empty for 3 years is because the last family to live there, a mother and her 2 young daughters, were all murdered inside. John slowly realizes he didn't deliver pizza to people. He delivered it to ghosts.
Not surprisingly, that was John's last night as a pizza guy. He quit on the spot. The story says that even now, all these years later, he still trembles every single time he remembers what happened on that dark road. And that brings us to maybe the most chilling part of this whole thing. John survived his encounter, yeah, but the original crime, the event that created those ghosts in the first place, was never solved. The murders are still a mystery. Which leaves us with one last, haunting question. Who killed that family?